Well, it's the last official episode of the Ritornu A Gloria today. After this, there's going to be one more. It's going to be 5 years down the road, maybe 10, depending on how fast the computer gets through the simulation. But today, the regular season's over. Our Champion League run is over. And we're going to take a look back at some of the people and players who helped make it possible. My name is FM19, and this is the Ritornu A Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 129. Well, as you can see, we ended the season really, really good. Recently, Norwich beat Manchester City about 2 weeks ago. Manchester City turned around and beat Watford like 9-0. Well, we lost to PSG in the second half of our Champions Cup semifinal leg, and we turned around and beat Rennes 10-0. Hussein Kaplan had 5 goals in the first 26 minutes of the game. Gotta go over here. Pichon had a goal. Gerardo had a hat trick. Rashidi had a goal as well. It was, hold on a second, I gotta count. 5, 6, 7, 8-0 at the half. It was just insane. Kaplan finished on a 10-0, Gerardo a 9-7. Everybody had a really, really good game. We were then away at Lens, and we won 5-0. This is also when we clinched Ligue 1 because OGC Nice drew with PSG, and PSG couldn't catch us anymore. And then we were home against Caen, and we won there 3-1 as well. Season-wise, we ended up in first place, 101 points, 6 ahead of PSG. 33 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws. Kaplan, 56 goals across all competitions, a 7.80 rating, 18 assists. Lucas Farias also had 18 assists. Luca Mercurio, 87% pass completion. Kaplan, 18 Players of the Match awards. Flores, 15 yellow cards. Rashidi, 1 red card. In 38 matches played, we scored 123 goals. We allowed 45. We were first in yellow cards, tied for 14th in red cards, and we peaked out our attendance, which put us 11th in the league, and that is absolutely brilliant. If you look down here, you'll see our transfer budget is 67.1 million euros. Our payroll is 2.4. This is going to be an interesting offseason. I'm really kind of interested in seeing what the computer is going to do, what the program is going to do. I clicked the wrong button there. I want to go here. We'll sort by appearances here first. Mikla Kazan had a really good season, 35 appearances, 7.0 rating. He got better as the season went on. I suspect 2 or 3 years down the road, he will definitely be a 4-star to 4.5-star keeper. Allowed 44 goals in 35 matches, 10 shutouts. Was decent in the French Cup, was really good in the Coup de League, and was not that bad in the Champions Cup either. I'll be honest, I don't know that the Champions Cup's been played. I don't know if that's been decided yet or not. We'll look at that here in a second. Bastien Pichon, a solid season. If we didn't have Hussein, I firmly believe Bastien would have carried us through. Maybe not to 100 and however many goals we had, but definitely he somehow got a 5th star. I don't think he was ever 5-star rated, but he got it. 32 appearances, 5 off the bench, 23 goals, 12 assists, 6 players in the match. Hussein Kaplan averaged almost a goal a game in League 1. 31 appearances, 5 off the bench, 34 goals, 14 assists, 11 players in the match. Matis Flores, a solid season. 31 appearances, 5 assists, 1 player of the match. Pierre Kern, also a solid season, 2 goals, 1 assist. Thomas Gerardo on the left wing, 30 appearances, 1 off the bench, 14 goals, 6 assists, 4 players in the match. You get down here. Alexander Valencia had a solid season as well. 23 appearances, 4 off the bench, 1 goal, 1 player of the match. Javad Rashidi was absolutely dominant in the midfield. He's like an Iranian N'Golo and Kante. 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, 22 years old. 22 appearances, 4 off the bench, 4 goals, 3 assists. His defense work was top-notch, though. Beinlich was a solid addition to the club. 21 appearances, 5 off the bench. Came in mostly as spot start. Well, you get 21 appearances. It's not a spot starter. He started 2/3 of the game, but he's definitely been a great addition. Orlowski had a pretty solid season as well as the lone player. 19 appearances, 4 off the bench, 5 goals, 2 assists, 3 players of the match. Lucas Farias was an absolute dream of a pickup. He was injured for a decent amount of the season. 18 appearances, 9 off the bench, 8 goals, 14 assists. he stays healthy next season, there's no telling how many. He could get 20 assists if we were lucky. Johnny Burrell really came into his own this year. He really did push Orlowski aside. 16 appearances, 3 off the bench, 2 goals, 3 assists, 1 player of the match. DJ in limited appearances. 15 appearances, 7 off the bench, 6 goals, 5 assists, 1 player of the match. He is definitely going to push Farias. And I suspect, and you'll notice over here on the left, Pichon's wanted by a bunch of teams. Kaplan's wanted by a bunch of teams. Pierre Kern is wanted by Man United and Inter. Gerardo is wanted by Chelsea and Man City. Rashidi is wanted by Leicester. And the possibility that even more players are going to be wanted is going to be interesting. I firmly believe of these 4 players, 3 of them will be, of these 5 players rather, 3 of them will be gone at the start of the next season. I don't have any control over it. David Sargent, not a bad season, all things considered. 12 appearances, 13 off the bench, 11 goals, 3 assists, a player of the match. Tomasi, not the best season for him, but he is on the wrong side of 30. He did spend a decent amount of it injured. 13 appearances, 15 off the bench, 3 goals, 7 assists. A solid option off the bench. You know, can play the advanced midfielder on the right, can play the midfielder position, can also play some striker and advanced midfielder on the left. Just, you know, one of those jack of all trades, master of none types that it seems every team needs. Fabian Hock is definitely going to, you know, if Kern leaves, Hock is ready to step in. 11 appearances, 12 on the bench, 1 goal, a 6.83 rating. He's 3.5 star Kern ability, 20 years old. He gets first team playing time. He gets the amount of playing time Pierre Kern did. He'll be 5 stars in no time. Regis Fallet didn't get a lot of starts this year. And if I was still controlling the team after this, I'd probably move him on. He is wanted by a couple of teams. Let me see if I can get that here. Gomes in Portugal. Anyone else? No, I'm going to go to the reserve squad here real quick. Nobody really standing out there. Clavel had a solid season on the reserve squad, but that's what I brought him in for. So the reserves finished, well, this says 8th, but I don't think that's right. That is right. So they finished 8th on 53 points, which is solid. And then the under-19s, you know, they finished solidly mid-table, 50 points, which is not bad either. One of the things I do like on the under-19s is that there is, sort by potential here, there is some really good potential here. Salif Lopi, rather, he's from the youth intake this year, looks to be the real deal. Gautier Jordan also appears to be the real deal. Lee Mikel, Salvador Guillen also have potential as well. Can I show the players on loan? The players on loan didn't do bad. This isn't the screen I was looking for exactly, but I don't know that I can get the screen I'm looking for. Who was the one player I was really hoping would develop? Lukac had a solid season at St. Etienne. Liam Mikel had a solid season for Valenciennes, 38 appearances, 7 goals scored. Kasongo? Troyes? I don't, to be honest with you, I don't really remember. Let me set up my start date and whatnot here. So, scrolling down, we got 24.3 million euros for winning League One. Players inducted in the overall best 11. Florent Robert, Javid Rashidi, and Tomas Gerardo were all selected. We're going to go through the players on here real quick. Captain, we know where he is. Frank is with Colorado in the MLS. He is 33 years old now. He's definitely on the downside of his career. He didn't have a great time in Greece. He came off the bench more often. Well, he didn't come off the bench. He got limited starts. He got limited starts his first year in Colorado. He has 10 starts now, 4 goals and 2 assists. Still a solid player for that level of football. His best season was his first season with us when he had 21 goals, 5 assists, and 3 players of the match in 35 games. And then this was when we had just gotten into League One, and he was good, but not good enough. Macon went to PSG and then got loaned out. Where is he now? Porto. So I believe he's still... No, yeah, he's still with PSG. They loaned him to Porto, and he had a solid season here. He was really good for us. And then chased the money at PSG. And that was kind of that was a theme in this save. I had good young players, Gresh Angelini and that, and especially in the beginning, who, if they had stayed, probably would have developed and been really good contributors. But instead, no, they were going to chase the money. The yellow card machine, that is Antoine Bernard, is on Montpellier. Well, this season here, when he had 9 goals and 4 assists, was probably his best, but he just had so many yellow cards. Montpellier got him, and he's been a spot starter. Although he was okay. We know about Soldevilla. Where did he end up? Levante. That's right. Yeah, Leipzig had him for a year. They loaned him to Levante, and Levante turned around and bought him. Not bad. This was when I was playing the 4-3-3 with the defensive midfielder, and he was solid there. I also had him playing defensive center back as well. Roberto we know about, Valencia we know about, Kern we know about. Armand, no. Who ended up in Germany, is back at Caen, 28 years old. Went to Hanover, then they loaned him to Caen, and then Caen bought him. Not bad. His best season was this one here, 33 games, 10 starts, 10 goals rather, 10 assists. That's when he was playing advanced midfielder on the right. And, another one of those players who was good, but not good enough for League One. And then Orlov is at Chelsea and had a banger of a season. 34 appearances, only allowed 29 goals, 15 shutouts, 7.17 rating. We sold him for a ton of money, and we got our money's worth. We bought him for $10 million. We turned around, we sold him for 147. And he responded with a really good season at Chelsea. Chelsea got beat in the Champions League semifinal by Atletico. So the Champions Cup is still being played. And it's Madrid and PSG. And I don't know when. If I go to PSG's schedule here. Yeah, they drew with Nice and they drew with Monaco. Those 2 games back-to-back are why they lost. They're playing on the 28th, so in 6 days. So, yeah, we can come back for that. We'll probably go through, at least to see who wins. I'm trying to think of some other players. Luke Foster. Looks like he retired, and I didn't keep him. Lyle Foster, that's who it was. It's Sassuolo. Probably leaving on a free. 32 years old now. A couple of solid seasons with us after coming from the Monaco reserves for 185,000 euros. Probably the best value for money I got this entire save. 17 goals, 4 assists, 2 players of the match. Another one of those players who was good, but I was always looking for something better. He was definitely a stepping stone into us getting Kaplan. Pichon Valle came through the youth intake, and we sold him on to Sassuolo. And he's been a solid contributor, not the best, not the worst. Let's go back a couple years here. See if there's any names that pop out at us. Ruiz. He ended up going to Bilbao. Chasing the money. Left for 40 million. Had a decent season last year. This season, not so much. Wasn't the goal scoring machine he was the year before last, but he was always more of an assist guy. He was more of a facilitator, and he did that really well. Let's see. Tomasi, who is still here. I don't know that he'll be here after the season, though. Lemos, who just absolutely... He's a Cologne now. I lost my patience with him. I don't even remember why exactly. I just remember he just did a bunch of stupid stuff on the field and just... Yang Chen. That's a name I haven't thought of. Is it Norwich? Sold him to Arsenal. They loaned him to Palermo and Atalanta. Then looks like he went to Lyon for $8 million, and they turned around and sold him for 6.75. Another one of those guys who I think if he had stayed would have really developed. Sessegnon is it Celtic? Yeah, we lost money on him. I was afflicted with this. There's someone better out there. Yeah, Strahina is at Maccabi Tel Aviv. Went to Newcastle, Antwerp, Maccabi Tel Aviv on a free. Had a decent season at Antwerp. Didn't really do much at Maccabi. Or not, at Newcastle, rather. Fernandez. Guzman Fernandez. I remember that now. Went to Bournemouth for $7.5 million. Actually, a couple nice seasons at Bournemouth. 17 goals and 42. That's not bad. 14 and 38, 14 and 38. That's pretty solid. And they're in the Premier League, so... where did they finish this year? Let me check and find out. Well, they avoided relegation. Palace got relegated. Nuts. We'll be going back too much further here. Joel Ramirez is still at Marseille. Yep. Solid keeper for Marseille. The first in the long line of very good keepers here. Who was before him? Talise was before him. He's at Stuttgart now. Part-timer. Had a couple really good seasons when he first started. 33 goals in 38, 38 and 32. That's not bad. I think he was one of those that if we'd kept him, he would have developed, but there were better options that came up. Marba Zamble. He was our first big-name keeper. Went to Liverpool for $16 million after 1 year. We just couldn't keep him. He was that good. And it was one of the first years we were in League One. And just, he made a name for himself. Liverpool came calling and he chased the money. And then he is at PAOK now. He was never a full-time starter at Liverpool. Had a decent season at Fiorentina 1 year, but that was it. Now we're getting back to the older guys. Brigado. Check him out here real quick. It's a Karlsruhe. And he's still playing. He's not the best. He got a 6.35. But yeah. And then Sasha. Rodez Aveyron. Yeah, we got decent money for him too. Bought him for $16K, turned around and sold him for $1 million. It was solid for us. Nothing really to write home about, but you know that's how it started. So here's the first starting 11 we had. It was the roster we were stuck with because we couldn't sell anybody. Given the circumstances the team was in, and then Sofiane Boris Bell ended up retiring after 3 goals. He ruined his knee and just was never the same. This is when we switched to the 4-3-3. Jean-Marc Parent was kind of the future, and then he wasn't. He's at PAO. He's still okay. Nothing to write home about, but here he was solid for us in League 2. And then got a couple of appearances in League 1. We got to League 1, and it looks like 2023, 24. So, but if you were to look at this, Frank was a step up from Sofiane Boris Bell. Knezovic was a step up. Istria was a step up. Parent was a step up. Soldevilla was a step up. So on and so forth. There were incremental improvements as we got better. Foster was a little bit better than Frank. Marin. Lucien Marin. That's a name I haven't thought about in a long time. How old is he now? 30 years old. Back up at Everton. We bought him from No, this is Steaua Bucharest. We bought him from Steaua Bucharest for 10.5. And he just never became the striker I hoped he would. You know, he had the one season where he had 13 goals and 6 assists, and then he moved to Everton, and he's been a contributor there. He's had a couple of decent seasons coming off the bench and getting some starts in that, it looks like. Looks like his best season was a couple years ago, 7 goals, 2 assists, 7.02. You know, there was always that effort to try and find someone better to make the team better. You know, we went from, you know, this is a primary example I've talked about in previous episodes. You know, we went from Sofiane Borspel to Frank. From Frank, we went to Lyle Foster. From Lyle Foster, we went to Marin. From Marin to Fernandez. And then from Fernandez, it was Kaplan and Pichon who both came to their own. And they're both. This is Hussein Kaplan now. He has got to be one of the best 10 players in this game, in this universe. Valued at $114 million, 5-star potential ability, 5-star current ability. You know, look at all the green. You know, a 10 bravery is his worst mental. You know, a 15 natural fitness and pace and acceleration is his worst physical. Technically, okay, his long throws, his marking, his tackling are not the best, but, you know, again, striker. And if I was to compare him to Bastion, Pichon's a pressing forward. Well, they got him as a complete forward here, but I play him as a pressing forward. You know, a little bit better mentally, not as good defending wise, which seems kind of odd now that I think about it. Physically, they're the same. Vision, they're really close. Attacking, they're not bad. You know, the one place Hussein really excels is the aerials because he's freaking, 6 foot something? Let me go back here and find out. He is 6'7". There, I'm looking at it right here. He's 6'7" with a 20 jumping reach and a 19 heading. And oddly enough, he doesn't score a lot of goals off the headers, you know. But this was his season this year. 13 goals in the Champions League, 2 assists, 2 penalty shots, 5 players of the match. 35 goals in 36 appearances in League 1, 14 assists, 10 penalty shots, 11 players of the match. 4 goals in the French Cup, 4 goals in the Coupe de Ligue, 3 goals in the World Cup European qualifiers. 56 goals overall in 56 games. 1 a game. And then Bastion, 34 goals and 16 assists overall. You know, that is a potent 1-2 strike. And it's easy to see why teams are after them. So, okay, I think what I'm going to do is forward ahead. We're going to find out who won the Champions League. And then, you know, this is already going 24 minutes. I could probably edit it down a little bit. Or this could be a really long episode too. I think we'll just go it being a really long episode. And then I'm going to retire. And then we're going to sim ahead 5 years. So, back with that in a bit. Now, the Champions League is over, and Atletico Madrid won. We got 9.61 million euros for our semifinal loss. Get 16.61 for the coefficient ranking pool money. Squad bonus was 2.9 million. And Atletico Madrid won. They beat PSG. We'll take a look at that here in a second. Hussein, 13 goals and an 8.18 rating. And he won the Golden Boot Award, beating Van Dugen, who is the Atletico Madrid striker. And he was named in the Dream Team as well. I think he was the only one. Everything else was Atletico Madrid and PSG. Midfielder of the season, Gerardo came in second. Pichon came in first and third. Kaplan and Pichon for Champions Cup forward of the season. Flores still wasn't picked up by the French squad. Gee, this Gignac guy is just a freaking idiot. Bastion's finally on there. But no Flores? Just insane. Let me get back to the Champions League here, see what that final see what that final was. Overview, matches, results. They won 2-1 after having Garcia sent off in the 38th minute. Wow, they were a man down and they still won. Bianchi on goal. And then Van Dusen scored in the 55th minute after they equalized in the 51st. Wow. Linders is not going to be popular over that. So, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to save the game here. Realized I had my drink in front of me last time. So, professional. Then we are going to go take a look at me real quick. My profile. Got a little bit better as an attacker and defending coach. I am of the firm belief if you're going to start as a coach, put all your stuff in the mentals. You can always find good tactical and attacking and defending coaches at the lower levels. The tactical, technical, mental is where it's at. And man management motivating as well. Determination is also a big help. World class reputation, 4.5 stars. Only 29,500 euros a week. Let's see here. 733 games played, 465 won, 129 drawn, 139 lost. Almost a 2-1 goal differential in goals and a 63% win rate. Some pretty good achievements there. We managed to get our way up all the way to Continental Pro. 54 years old. And we are going to retire. No, we're not. We are going to resign. What the heck I was thinking there. No, Guardiola's in the running to take over. Marcelino, Sebastian Baumgarten from Inter. I remember this name. Not bad. And the mass exodus. The assistant coach. Coach. That's... And Pasotto left too. Okay, that's going to hurt them a little bit. So that is pretty much the entire first team coaching staff. And we are going to save the game as retirement. And then I'm going to sit ahead 5 years. And then if I have the time, and the episode's not all that long, maybe 10. But definitely 5 for sure. That's something I like doing, just to see how the person after me does. So this has been a fun save. It's fallen off the past couple weeks because of work commitments. Going forward, at least for FM20, I had a plan for the beta, and I think I'm still going to stick with the team I want to do. I'm just not going to be able to do 5 uploads a week. I'd like to try and do 5 uploads a week. I don't know that it's going to happen. I've got so much going on. Things will slow down a little bit for me work-wise after Christmas, but until then, it's just Katie bar the door, just all over the place. I'm going to aim for 3 uploads a week, either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. It's going to be a single club save in a nation I've never played in before. Similar to this, taking a team who once had upper division success and have fallen back and try and take them back to the upper division. And then starting in January, I've been thinking about doing like an Eastern European journeyman. I've never done a journeyman before, and that could be interesting, but I don't know. I don't want to do it like, Lelujo does. I want to have some rules set, but I'm not quite sure what those are going to be. So I have plenty of time to figure that out, though. However, this has been a fun save. I like playing in France, and I couldn't explain why. This is my second public save with a French team. My Dunkirk save from FM 2017 is on the SI forums. I did have an offline save with Havert in 2018 that I had a lot of fun with, and this one was just really, really good. One of the things I'm planning on doing with the beta save is go a little bit more in depth with the spreadsheet, do a little more on that. One of the things that happened with this save is that I was pushing so much to get things done that the spreadsheet kind of fell by the wayside. I stopped keeping track of things after about 12 or 13 years in. simply because I didn't feel the need to. I wasn't that much I wasn't that interested in player development or in that anymore. I suspect if I was to do like a youth only save or player development save, at one point in time I mentioned, hey, let's do PSG youth only save. The spreadsheet in that would come in a lot handier. So, but that will make a comeback. I'm waiting to see what the changes in FM20 are going to be, and to see what I have to do to tweak it. I got some ideas from a couple different places on how to track the schedule a little bit better, and also add in things like the various cups and tournaments and stuff like that, so you can see how you're doing there as well. So, but that said, this has been a very fun save. Those of you who have been following along since the beginning, I appreciate it. Those of you who have been following along at any point in time, I appreciate it. My name is FM Jellicoe, and this is the end of the Ritornu A Gloria with SC Bastia. Thanks for watching.